Hey everyone, it's Kai from Cool Collectibles back again for another review. This time it's the latest edition in the Bishoujo series for Darkstalkers, being Felicia here. The first one that I got was Morrigan, which I'll pull out later on for a side-by-side. But finally got this Felicia from Big Bad Toy Store. It took a while to get here for some reason, but I'm glad it's finally arrived because she is pretty damn amazing. Just of note that the statue does come with this clear stand at the back here. I have seen some collectors not use it, or maybe they're not aware that it's included in the packaging itself. But you should do it because this headpiece is pretty heavy, and if you follow the instructions, it really is there right underneath the edge of the hair there, just to prop it up. I'm not sure how many Bishoujo statues have actually leaned in the past. The only one that of mine in the collection that might have leaned slightly is the Sakura, original Sakura Street Fighter statue that was also on one foot. And that sort of looked like it leaned a little bit, and there was no support for it, but I'm glad that Kotobukiya this time did include that clear stand, and it doesn't look too bad on display. So if you have it sort of like that, you can't really even tell that it's there. So I would definitely take the instructions advice and use that stand to prop up that hair, because you don't want the sort of statue leaning backwards over time. And for a statue like this, with so much detail and awesome paint application, you definitely don't want this warping over time. For the paint application in the hair, you can see there's sort of slight variations in the blue, not too much. Would have been nice if there's maybe a little bit of translucency in there, like they used to do on some of the older statues, but overall that the detailing and the sort of shading in the hair there is pretty nice. All of these little strands you do need to be a little bit careful of when you unpack her from the box. It's probably the most plastic I've seen on a Bishoujo for a while. Every one of these strands had its own little plastic sheet, and then all the claws and the paws and so on also were covered up. So she is well protected, and I'm glad they did that, because the paint application is pretty fantastic. I love that her exposed skin is a matte finish and not the sort of shiny plasticky finish of I can't remember the name. The recent I don't know if it's from Tekken or King of Fighters or something. One of the female fighters from that series had a lot of skin showing, but it did have a very plasticky look to it. But this one has a gorgeous, nice, almost tan matte finish, which is a really good sort of contrast to the bright white and pink claws and so on. So I think the overall design, Shunya Yamashita really knocked it out of the park with the concept art, and the 3D mold really brings that to life. So you get all the sort of detailing in the fur, the claws, and the sort of skin texture as well. So overall, I think they've done a pretty fantastic job with this particular release. I love the little teeth that they've got there, and I like how everything is clean, and there's no sort of color bleeding or anything like that. So again, the quality control on this release is pretty damn good. I'll grab Morrigan here as a quick side-by-side. So these two are the only ones that I'm going to get from the Darkstalkers series. I think the third one is Lilith, which I still can't remember how she's related to Morrigan, if she's the younger sister or a relative, some cousin or something. But that one I'll probably pass on, and it's because I am really running out of space in the collection with some of these other series of statues. So I'll just stick to the core ones that I remember from the game, and that I used to play from, Puzzle Fighter and so on. And these two are the characters that I know and remember the most. And they are probably the most iconic from that series, so they do look pretty fantastic together. Scale-wise, I think they match fairly well. I guess, Morrigan is leaning over a bit more, so she does appear a little bit shorter, particularly against all the big hair there. But in terms of detail, paint application, and just the overall style, you can't really get much better than these two in the Bishoujo series. So they'll look great next to the other Capcom Street Fighter statues that I've got as well. It's a shame they seem to have stopped that series, but if they keep releasing things like this, and hopefully more in the horror series, I think I'll keep collecting these as best I can. But that's pretty much it for my thoughts on the new Felicia. Hopefully you like my thoughts on that and can give the video a thumbs up as well and subscribe. I do have the new Transformers Masterpiece Skyfire coming up next, so hopefully you can subscribe and stay tuned for that. And until then, thanks again, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers. Bye.